Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook. I'm here to talk about the most recent episode of the Titans. It was called Super Mart. Now, back when I reviewed the premiere 2 episodes, I said I wasn't sure if I was going to cover this whole season because last season was so terrible that I didn't see a point in covering this season on the channel if it's going to be awful. And the first few episodes were okay, but not perfect. And this week's episode was a step down from those 3 episodes. So I'm just going to try to get through it quickly because, frankly, what happened in this episode was a whole big nothing burger. And I'm really more concerned now than I was before that this season is going to stink. Anyway, it starts off with a flashback to 1996 where we see Mother Mayhem, aka May, arriving at work and using magic on a plant and a broken office machine before being pestered and kind of berated by her boss, who then proceeded to talk about her behind her back, though she could overhear it. And then something apparently calamitous happens off screen, and I think you're supposed to think that she caused it and that it affects him negatively. She's then approached by a character called the Messenger at a bar, and she seems to disclose that she lost her job. He hands her his business card that simply says the organization on one side, but he tells her that the organization is in human development and that they work with people with special aptitudes. On the back of the card are the 3 words that she had Sebastian say before he was whisked off by Superboy, which she then speaks aloud at the messenger's request, after which he just disappears when she isn't looking. Back in the present, Corey tells Dick about what happened to her when she was in her dream state involving the Red Moon prophecy or whatever. Rachel talks with Sebastian and he tells her that Mother Mayhem had him say the 3 words. And he almost says them again, but she stops him because she realizes that it has to do with the organization. Back in 1997, May is apparently in the organization and she has a conversation with the messenger about Trigon and how he could help her get in touch with her powers. In the present, the team arrives at the former location of the place called the Asylum to find that it's a super mart and that it apparently attracts a ton of ravens. Following the ravens, they find a back door, which Gar seems to think is a portal to hell. And then they have Superboy open the door, after which with his laser eyes, after which they all go through the door and descend into like a basement. From down in the crazy temple, Mother Mayhem commands the employees of the supermart to take up arms, kind of like a bunch of zombies. Again, back to 1997, a bunch of ladies in blindfolds are standing over a giant hole in the ground and being urged to trust Trigon to catch them, and a couple of them fall into it, May and another lady. They then climb back up, only for the other lady to kick May off the ladder when she realizes that basically May is her competition for, Trigon's blessings or whatever. But May manages to climb back out anyway, and this earns her a special treat from Trigon in the form of some kind of liquid that she drinks. In the present, the team finds some kind of jail area in this place, and Sebastian says that it used to be May's room, and it turns out that her friend is Sebastian's neighbor and that they've been monitoring him. And they also find a creepy book. Once again, back in the past, we see that May had a baby, which apparently was put in her when she drank the drink. But because it's a boy and not a girl, and therefore doesn't fulfill a prophecy, they seemingly kill it, but they at least take it away from her. We don't know what happens to it. And the team finds this out by playing back a recording of her giving birth that they come across. Also on the recording, May says some crazy prophetic shit, and the people who are holding her send in one of the snakes that we've seen before, whom she calls Sebastian, which I guess means that he's her son, and he somehow has the same mark on his skin as Rachel on his shoulder. The team then encounters Mother Mayhem's zombie army, who they fight for a bit before Jinx freezes them in place, allowing the team to escape. They then seem to encounter a zombie Deathstroke, who Connor decapitates with his fist, only to have the head put back on by the body. Deathstroke is then somehow able to stab Superboy, possibly because he's of magic and the Kryptonians are vulnerable to magic. I wasn't clear on that. Jinx then impersonates Sebastian, shapeshifter style, at which point Deathstroke grabs her, thinking he has Sebastian, after which she freezes and seems to kill him by jabbing something through his brain. The team then retreats to some kind of bunker that both Superman and Constantine are apparently unable to breach, having tried before. After which, Connor goes into the bathroom and pukes up a whole bunch of blood, along with a couple of the slimy snake things, which he then doesn't disclose to anyone. Apparently, they want to keep Sebastian safe in this location until the blood moon expires in a few hours' time. And that's where the episode ends. I didn't think much of this episode. I don't know why they're doing all this magic and mayhem stuff on a Teen Titans show. It's not Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, why aren't they doing like normal supervillains? Why are they going down this path? It just okay, it's a story, but like I don't care. I don't care about this. I want to see them fighting villains in the outfits. And if, there is some kind of plot that Mother Mayhem is working on, let's get to it. Like, why are they? This was like kind of like a filler episode that didn't do anything, didn't go anywhere. You don't see the team in the outfits. They don't use the superpowers really. It was a nothing burger of an episode, and I'm worried that we're going to see a lot of this season, that they're just not going to get to the meat of it, which is funny because people say the same thing about shows like Andor. The difference being that Andor actually shows you interesting stuff as it tells its story, interesting moments with the characters and stuff that like blows your mind, makes you think and makes you feel certain feelings. This was just a nothing burger of an episode where they're going through the motions of some chicanery to fill an hour. And it doesn't amount to anything. It's pee pee caca, no substance, as Robin Williams might have said. So I didn't really like it. And I just hope it gets better. Because I don't think I'll continue to cover it really if it's not any good. I really don't think I will. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll be back with some kind of video soon. It may or may not be another review of Titans. Until I return, I wish you peace and long life.